Do you feel the vibes?
Team GB, physique, bodybuilding training, first Asian on a mag, epicness. How the fuck does crypto come along from that?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, isn't it? We've all got in for some weird reason, as if it just come along and slapped us in the faces.
100%. Like I believe in vibrations and positive frequencies. So when you're emitting certain vibrations and frequency, you're attracting certain things. So if I can go back to like 2017 back end, I think it was November, December, I was literally at home and one of my friends who's like a business class steward on Emirates Airlines randomly messaged me out of the blue. It's something he always to compete with. And he said to me, have you heard of something called Ripple? And I was like, no, I have no idea what that is. I thought he was talking about a chocolate bar or something. And I've never done any investing in my life, nothing about the financial markets, completely new to it. And he literally told me that one of his business class colleagues in the airplane had given him a tip on Ripple XRP. It's around 20 cents and it's going to shoot up. And he's invested in it. And he told me to invest in it and just to trust him. And I was like, I'm not really into investing. It all sounds like a scam to me because we've all seen Wall Street films and we've all heard horror stories. So I gave it no mind. I was like, yeah, I'll look into it. And I was busy doing different things at the time. And I think about 10 days went past. And he messaged me again saying, Indy, did you look into Ripple? And I went, oh, I'm still looking into it. And the price had shot up from 20 cents to about 60, 70 cents. And he got tripled his money. And he told me he put about $12,000 into it at the time and he tripled his money. And he showed me a statement. And that got my attention. And I thought, shit. Right, so he's literally tripled his investment in 10 days. What have I got to lose? I'm into business at the moment. This opportunity has come my way for a reason. I can either be complacent and sit on my backside, or I can make the most of this opportunity that's been presented to me. I've been given an opportunity to research into. So then I looked into it and I researched it. And I think one of the first platforms on one was like IQ options, which is like a binary thing. I started playing around and I bought a little bit. And it went up. I was like, okay, this is good. But then it kind of went down because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Obviously, you have retracements and corrections. And straight away, it went down a little bit. I thought, shit, this is scam anyway. And left it alone. And the next thing I knew, 3-4 weeks I went past it and gone back up again. And then I thought, okay, there is definitely something to this. And rather than putting my own face and future in somebody else's hands, waiting for signals or learning, I thought, if I want to get into this, I need to learn this market inside out and do as much research as I can. So I just started researching myself, really spending 8 hours a night, every night, for 6-7 days a week, for 9 months, learning everything I could on technical analysis and cryptocurrency. Typical day would be wake up, do a full-time job, come home, go to the gym, have a workout, spend an hour with the missus at home, a bit of family time, on the computer 8 o'clock every night till 4 in the morning, 6-7 days a week.
That's it then, innit? That's it. Still going, but...
Yeah, so, and that's what I did. So I just started researching and learning the market inside out.
So it was basically Ripple and XRP that pulled you in. It was similar to me, that. How much did you know about crypto before that little tip you got? Did you know, had you heard of Bitcoin? Had you shunned it off or anything?
Yes.
I had heard of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I was just like believing the news, like fuck, it's bullshit, it's going nowhere. It's just fucking paper, it's plastic fucking online money, innit? It'll do fuck all. Digital monopoly money and all that. I was hearing stupid things, so I just batted it off all the time until it was just XRP. It was legitimately just a 3 to 5 day pending payment online, because that's all I ever see when you spend on Amazon. Anything, you notice your pending payment, probably pending a Costa now, through the card. You know what I mean? That should be instant. It's 2019. That's legitimately all I needed, and I wouldn't have looking into XRP and just thought 3 to 5 days coming down to 4 seconds, no brainer. It's the fucking future.
So to answer your question, I literally knew nothing about cryptocurrency. I didn't have a clue what it was. I'd heard of Bitcoin, and that's only because I remember, I think it was around about 2010, and I can remember this quite vividly. I was just about to fly off to India for the Commonwealth Games trials, and it was around about March 2010, and I used to see nothing but advertisements on Facebook come up, Bitcoin, the new what it was, but I just remember in the back of my mind seeing this Bitcoin invest, buy Bitcoin, and it was fractions of a penny. And thought nothing of it, didn't know what to do, get into it. Just something that visually stuck in my mind. And then in 2017, when Ripple came around, did a bit of research into it, and I found out it was kind of cryptocurrency which is linked to Bitcoin. Then straight away, Bitcoin rang a bell. I know what Bitcoin is. They know where it is, but they haven't got a clue what the functionalities. Like Bitcoin, most people still think it's a physical coin that you get from ATM machines.
Yeah.
Literally.
And they think you can't, the amount of people who think you can't break it down into pennies. Oh, I'd love to be able to buy one, but I've not got $3 grand. Like, you have to buy a full one, man. You know what I mean? You're fucking crazy.
It's definitely, we're in a paradigm shift at the moment, so we're on the cusp of a whole new technology, which is what blockchain is, which is what's got me interested and involved in it right now, because if it's just something that was going to make money, like stocks and shares and forex, you just flip I believe in the technology so much, the research that I've done, that I truly believe is going to revolutionise the world. We're on the cusp of a shift. The technology that we're living in at the moment has been around for the last 50, 60 years.
Yeah, it's
hasn't really evolved much. Yeah, we're due a massive change, and this is what's going to do it. So,
well, that's why we did the globalization documentary, to just try and let people know how big the reset actually is. You've been talking about a reset for 9 months. I've been like, oh, well, you're on about a reset. What do you mean a reset? So we made the globalization documentary to legitimately just show people we're having a full economic and monetary system reset to a whole new system. Are you talking everything, starting at the banking sector and working down? Like I was saying before when we first started chatting, the voting system, we are going to be fully in charge of voting systems soon as people, and it be fully transparent. You can forget rigged elections. Not happening. It's not happening on blockchain. It's just not happening.
In the ideal world, that's what we really need.
But medical, how scared are some people of medical and sharing medical files and going to certain hospitals and all that? Your medical files are just going to be on your digital identity soon. Like everywhere you go, it doesn't matter whether it will be the dentist, the doctors, the fucking police station, the airport. You'll just swipe, like we say, chip, phone, watch, whatever you're using, a little ring, doesn't matter, but you will swipe, and the person, or AI eventually, a fucking augmented reality fucking assistant, is going to know who you are straight away.
Well, those films that we used to watch in Hollywood in the 80s and 90s are going to come true, basically.
iRobot.
iRobot.
Saying to me, mate, my mate's like, I don't want a fuck iRobot, we don't need AI and all that. I'm like, yeah, you're missing the point of blockchain, bruh, because iRobot, they twist the free laws to control us. So blockchain technology, they won't need to do that. The laws will already control us. But they won't just control us, they'll control them. AI is just a fucking computer. It has got a simple 0 and 1s language that they ain't gonna be able to break. That they're gonna follow like the fucking life depends on it. That is their sole purpose of being built. Mate, don't get me wrong, 150 years in the future when we've got some Star Trek data motherfucker who's actually questioning his own existence. Maybe, do you know what I mean? But for the next 50 years, it's just gonna be fairly intelligent machines doing stuff for us. Because the program to, this comes back to IBM's network failing for cross-network solution, because China, Russia, Iran, all them, they're not going to use an American IBM network. You might say that they look at Ripple and just be like, you know what, we're not even using XRP because that's made in San Francisco. But someone's just going to sit up and just go, look, right, China, I'm sorry, and I hate to break this to you, but you've just programmed 10 billion autonomous machines to go after the fastest, cheapest, frictionless asset. Sorry mate, but that's XRP. So all them machines you've just made are going to go and use XRP because you need to save as much money as you can because of all them board members breathing down your neck. It doesn't matter how level the playing field seems, XLM, XRP, EOS, whatever else comes on that, doesn't matter. XRP is the fastest, and then you can ask the question of, well, what about in 5 years if there's a faster one emerges? Well, yeah, well done, you made it faster. Now spend 5 to 10 years proving that you're never going to miss a transaction, proving that you can execute every ledger like Ripple has, and then maybe you can take the spot of Ripple. The banks need, I mean, they've shortened it to 5 to 10 years for the new asset class. Like you say, they're almost ready for it, but it seems a bit too soon, but they're trying to speed it up to get it through. This was 30 years ago. They'd want to see it tested behind the doors for half a century. 20 years on, they'd be like, you still all good? Because we're ready to go in right. rolling it out in 5 years, is it still all good?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that with telecommunications, Tesla, Edison, got playing with fucking light bulbs for 15 years before they started selling
I think
them?
the take-home message at the moment to people who are new into this market is, I'm talking about people that are nothing about it. They've literally just seen some articles on social media, people pumping Ripple, XRP, and they don't know where it is, and they just make a quick look. I think the take-home message to them is, this market right now, cryptocurrency and blockchain, is going to be the future. Whether it's this iteration right now or it's going to be more developed blockchain, whatever it's going to be, nobody knows. But this is going to be the technology that changes the future. So whether it's XLM, XRP, thousands of coins in the future, we are in the embryo stage of this new market. Whatever comes in the future is going to be built off of this, or it's going to progress on from this. So if you're looking to get in this market right now, there's no better time. It's financial security for everybody.
I mean, me personally at the moment, all I'm buying is XRP. But if I was to put a foot out and someone said, look, I know you're not a financial advisor, but I want what you believe is current financial advice, I would have to say, go 75% in XRP, 25% in XLM. I'd have to at the moment, because is there only Sky TV? Is there only Virgin? There's Sky Virgin. There's multiple electric providers. There's multiple gas providers. There's multiple streaming services. That is a level playing field of data. You go back to the 80s, there was only Norweb doing electric, mate. No one else. Legitimately only Norweb, and there was like, hang on a minute, you're controlling that whole fucking market. And nah, we need more of yours. We need more of yours, and we need more of yours. But it takes one to cement it. Do you know what I mean? So while they've got the first one, Bitcoin, that everyone can shit on and take down, XRP is becoming the first. Don't get me wrong, XLM's right behind it because it's got an ex-Ripple guy working with it, Indy Kheela, he knows what he's doing. It will be one of the top 5 bridges. I truly believe XLM will be one of them, but I just don't see it getting the gains XRP is going to get in the next 5 years.
I mean, just chatting to you right now, I can tell you're extremely passionate about XRP and Ripple, and it's got a special place for me as well because it's what's put with the cryptocurrency. But for people out there who are just getting into this market, personally, the advice that I would give them is you've got to follow your passion. For example, XRP, XLM are payment gateways, bridge currencies for the financial industry. Cryptocurrency is just not restricted to financial. You've got gaming coins, you've got...
Well, that's what TRX was at first, and then it transitioned to an actual new internet of that.
You've got charity coins, so it depends on what kind of character you are as a person. You could be somebody that's into the arts or graphics, you could be into gaming, whatever, you could be into internet browsing, you could be into cloud computing. So there is a project out there in cryptocurrency that's pretty much there for everybody. So find something that you're passionate about. If you're into cloud computing,
like Golem's cloud computing.
Exactly, Golem.
I had some fucking Golem at one point.
You've got Golem, you've got Sonum, you've got Siacoin. So if you've got a passion for something in a certain industry, chances are you're going to research the hell out of it and you're going to stick through it through the foot. So find out what your passion is. Research projects that work around your passion. That way you're not going to get shaken out of the market when times go down. So that's the advice that I would give to somebody.
It's why I'm super interested in robotics and AI moving forward. Alexa making payments, Google Assistant making payments. Literally things, paying for things, man. People need to ridiculously wake up to that term. You go back to the 80s, mate. Seriously, go back to the fucking 80s and just put anyone in any coffee shop like this. You might have to travel quite a way because it's a pretty new thing, but you just walk in and just go, yo, by 2020 things are gonna pay for things, and just walk out the room. Everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck is he even on about?
You can't really
it's a concept they can't even imagine. What do you mean things pay for things?
Even I can't believe it right now. Like for example now, we're in 2019. A few days ago Samsung just bought out the first flip phone. Huawei have as well. Now, that's just come out of nowhere for me, and I've seen it.
See, I was on that.
That
foldable paper.
I saw the tech a few years ago, but I didn't expect it to just come out of the blue and veil straight away. They literally bought it out like, right, here it is. Now, even though it's astonishing, and I'm like, wow, they bought it out, it's not really shocked me to the core because I've been slowly accustomed to it. Whereas if I would have just been teleported to 2009 from the 80s, I would have been, wow, look how much the world has changed.
Have you seen?
You've got contactless payments, you've got flat screen TVs, you've got phones that are thin as a piece of paper. It's just completely the amount of stuff that technology has shifted in the last 20 years is unbelievable. But because we've lived through it, we're kind of desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Now imagine what's going to happen between now, 2019-20 to 2030. The technology shift is going to be unbelievable. But
Holograms and augmented reality. We'll be sat here, we'll come back here to this, if this fucker's still here in 2030, we'll come and sit here in 2030 with smart contact lenses in me, augmented. There'll be no camera on the table recording it. I'll be recording you through my contact. You'll be recording me.
Just watching me in the
Mate, we could.
But the thing is,
it's fucking crazy.
We're talking about right now. It seems crazy, like we're ludicrous, but there's going to be small changes in technology coming over the next 5 years that might desensitize us to it. For example,
mate, we're in 1993 now, talking about Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. That's how fucked it is.
But
No. People need to break that down and think about it. Windows 95.
I remember that, yeah.
Windows 95, floppy fucking discs and shit.
Connection to the internet. That you used to get.
Mate, you go 2 years before that even came out and try and talk about Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp and try and talk about social media, or you try and tell people that 2.5 to 3.2 billion people will use the internet daily, that there will always be a minimum of 1.2 billion people on Facebook. You're talking about reaching attention, you want to build a business and brand, there's fucking 1.2 billion people on Facebook at all times.
Look what email did to the fax machine. Killed it completely off. And the memos and stuff.
It nearly killed the fucking post office. If it weren't for parcels and government letters, mate, there wouldn't be a post office, because there's government letters that only thing coming through there now.
Like I said, back to the point for all the people that are watching this right now and listening to us talk about the future and what's going to happen, they could be thinking, there's a younger generation out there that's very sceptical, and they might be like, holograms in the future, these two guys are high, yeah? Now, if you think about it in that concept, it does seem ludicrous, but think of it like this. It's not just going to be one transition to the other. There's going to be stages in between. For example, they might bring a smartphone out, such as my iPhone in 2 years' time, where I put it on the ground, hit a button, and a 3D hologram.
Stop it, it's done.
Yeah?
It's done that. Have you seen the tables? No. It has a fucking table and it's got a triangle coming up or a box. There's a hologram inside the box on the table.
Yeah, well,
it's only 5 or 10 years before that. I'm going to throw a prediction out here now. Technological prediction about movies. And the first movie of its type coming out before 2030.
Okay.
Right, you're gonna need what's gonna be called a mixed reality room.
Yeah.
Right, it's gonna be a dome room, as big as you want it and can fit it in your house. Little dome with 4 chairs, one on each corner, and you'll sit in it. You can have 3 people with you, and you'll be inside the movie. You won't be looking from the other side, like from the outside of a camera angle. That film will have been shot with a 360 camera. They'll have every angle, so they'll have 360 camera in the middle shooting out. They'll have cameras like they did at the Matrix all round shooting in, and you'll be sat in the middle. So for instance, Braveheart, Game of Thrones, any battle scene where there's 2 people running together, you could legitimately be sat there with an army running towards you, and an army running around you, and I swear to God, you'll have gloves on, and you'll just pull the film in and move the film around. You'll be like, whoa, rewind that.
What's that film? There's one with Tom Cruise in it. Minority Report.
So he's like that with the things. Now imagine you're sat in a room and you see one angle of the film and you think, fuck me, that looks sick, but I bet it was even better from the other side. So you just go like that in the room, literally just wave your hand like that, rewinds 30 seconds.
For complete transparency for the people who are watching this.
Boom.
Me and Scott, we've not talked about this at all. This is just off the cuff, isn't it?
This is legitimate.
And this is something that you can just predict, and it's the first time I've heard about it. And this is just your own intelligence telling you what's going to happen in the future.
People sitting inside movies.
What if I was to tell you you are 100% spot on, and there's stuff out there that's about to develop right now? For example, I'm from the fitness industry as well, and there's technology out there, right, literally in the next 12 months, that's going to come out. For example, there's a company out there, I can't say too much about it. Have you heard of, like in gyms where you've got spin rooms where you sit there and do a spin? There's a company out there that are doing virtual spin rooms, so it's a room.
I've seen one where it's just a wall.
It's not a wall, it's going to be like a dome, like a room you go into, You sit in there and it's all holographic, so you could be in there on your bike and you're going to the Tour de France.
Oh, see.
Yeah. They're already pitching that to certain companies right now, so what you've just said is an advanced version of what's already coming out.
Yeah, so that will basically be a written program that people at first in the room are just following within the next couple of years. Stick 3 to 6 years on top of that when it's fully implemented. You then have interactive programs in the same room. You can maybe mix it up a little bit, or add a fucking ramp there, add a thing there, do you know what I mean? Just throw it around yourself. And yeah, within 10 years there'll be a movie that you can sit in, watch from multiple angles, shot in. It'll be shot with about 100 cameras. You know how they shot The Matrix, didn't you, where they had all the cameras in the circle?
Yeah, and
so it could spin around Neo and Agent Smith as they're fighting. So it'll shoot like that from the outside.
And look how old
360
like
from the inside.
Or something like that.
Mate, exactly. And as it's moving round Neo and Agent Smith, you'll just be able to wave your hands and the film will fucking spin round the room. Because you're in a whited out dome room. It'll just you'll be looking forever. It'll just be, you won't,
so in
like
essence,
a Star Trek holodeck. No, not one that you can walk through. You have to sit in it, but you can move the fucking hell. You can move the scene that you're in.
Well, basically that just comes out of storage. A film or a scene is just shot from thousands of different angles and they're stitched together and put on a cloud, and you can just access what
interactive
angle that you want. So, I mean,
that's the point where the cinema goes away, and you just pay for the film ILP from in your room, and then, like you say, we don't need to come here by 2030. You'll be sat in your mixed reality room, I'll be sat in my mixed reality room, put the contact lenses on, it'll all the hologram lit, and it'll just be like you're sat in front of me, but I'm in my house and you're in your house.
And
crazy.
Even as close as 2 years ago, if you would have said that to me, it would have been a completely alien concept to me, because I thought, how the hell is that possible? But because now I know how blockchain works and ILP, I can envision how it's all going to stitch together and how it's possible to do. So once you know the technology in cryptocurrency at the moment, the possibilities are literally endless on what's going to come.
Unbelievable. In business, personal life, Volkswagen are not going to be a car maker within 10 years. They're going to be a mobility provider. That's it. Providing mobility. Not to say you won't be able to buy a car, but it won't be the only thing they're working on and producing. They're going to produce little autonomous buses. The first autonomous school buses are going out in America next year, to 2020. So they'll just be driving kids to school themselves. Do you know what I mean?
I remember reading something,
coming,
I think it was last summer, that America did their first trial test run. I think it was a HGV that drove itself from the east coast of California right the way to the west coast. Sorry, west coast to the east coast.
Yeah. Have you seen them on my Instagram where there's not even a cab?
No, well, basically, what happened was a driver, he gets the lorry, he drives it to the towns and puts it on the freeway, he jumps out, then it's all done from GPS or blockchain, which they use. He drove all the way from California through Route 66 and got to Miami, and he pulled over to one side and waited for the driver to jump in and take him to his final destination, and that went without a hitch.
Access for everyone, mobility, even if you're blind. So there's a little bus. There's a delivery thing, comes and delivers to you. There's a train. And cabless truck. So it's not even got a cab. It's just a cabless truck.
Well,
like legitimately, let me show that on the camera there. It's on my Instagram, go check it out. Cabless truck. But it's absolutely unbelievable. And then, this is Volkswagen by 2050. Before 2050. Ground module. Carries a human pod for passengers. But if you come to water or traffic, a fucking drone can pick you up and take you the rest of the way. That's when I say the elites will live above the weather at that point, and they will. That drone will just take the pod from the top of one skyscraper to the top of another.
10 years ago, I felt crazy, but the technology's there right now. You've got the toy drones. You can literally buy them for £5 for.
It's unbelievable. I've got cameras on them.
There's home engineers out right now that have taken that technology and built some ones with a seat and they put 4 engines and with the remote, and they're doing them themselves.
Mate, you've seen Dubai Police on them fucking motorbike ones.
Crazy.
That is madness.
So when the corporations start developing this and actually doing proper prototypes, that's the next stage. So all the technology kind of happens from what home engineers, so the home engineers right now are developing the tech, and once it becomes mainstream, it's possibilities endless.
Mate, it is. These are all asleep to what's happening. It's absolutely unbelievable.
possibility, another scenario, this worst case scenario, you know how you got JPM coin right now?
Yeah.
They're bringing theirs out, which is just for their own internal banks.
Yeah.
So, internal payments, one bank to another, they're going to peg it to the dollar. Okay, next 3-4 years, other banks say, okay, they're saving money just internally. HSBC, Deloitte, Lloyds, everybody brings out their own internal coin, pegged to the dollar. Yeah. Could they bring out their own Interledger that's centralized between banks? And they say, okay, we could basically...
Right, yeah, right. So what people need to realise about that is, would you bring out a new data internet?
Data internet?
Yeah. Would you bring out a new internet of data now?
No, not really.
Would you have done one in 2004?
Yeah.
2016? Like, they didn't need to bring a new internet of data out, did they? Because the people in charge, the W3C, had the protocol, had governed the protocol, had regulated the protocol, the bubble had popped, the road was clear, and everyone then used www. You didn't need any other framework, no one needed to make anything else, everyone just built on that. ILP is that for blockchain and DLT. They're just not fucking talking about it. Why? Like, this is the thing, man. This is why we keep saying to everyone, like, it's so hard to believe it's that big because they just won't speak about it. Can you imagine Christine Lagarde, mate, tomorrow comes out in a World Economic Forum thing and just says, right, it's time to tell you that Chosen Protocol is Interledger Protocol. You can find it in the document from 2013. Ripple are the company that have created it, they've gifted it to them. Ripple employees have said all this. Ripple employees have said it all, but it's not come from her mouth. If it legitimately just comes from her mouth, then Trump says it, then Theresa May says it.
There's not much information, is there, on ILP at all?
There's on this, there is, you know. If you search Interledger and go to page 2,
check it out. Okay.
just go to page, in fact, put PDF.
Okay.
Everything you search regarding crypto, put PDF at the end of your search, mate, because then you get the professional business presentations. I'm literally going to do it there now, Interledger. Are we online in here?
Yeah, check it out.
Let me get one up for you.
Of course. Do what you got to do, man.
Because we got pretty good at this shit over the last 12 months.
Well, just slam it on the stool if it's easy for you. Yeah, because that's what I thought. I mean, for me, the concept that banks are going to let go of power and give it to a third-party company like Ripple, just because I know the history of what these
so
bankers have
basically
done.
they don't need to make their own
Ledger.
their own Interledger protocol because it's already there.
Yeah.
So
could they adapt their
there's what JPM coin is to move American CBDC with the JP Morgan network 100%. As well as a few other currencies, I think. But when it comes to liquidity pools of commodities, stocks, shares, gold, anything like that, and it's going into another network from JP Morgan's network, when it's leaving the network, they can't send their coin across the network. They need to go in to either XLM,
like a bridge,
or
bridge
XRP,
token,
bridge assets. They're the big five. There's going to be 5 big bridge assets for me.
Is the thing though, like what?
Mate, look at that for all them fucking PDFs.
Yeah.
Each one will be slightly different because it's a different presentation from a different person at a different time.
Now, what separates the bridge? Now, for example, why can't JPM update the token, saying 5 years from now, internal to make it consumer, to be compatible with the Interledger?
They can.
Peg it to the dollar and say, okay, I'm going to use the JPM coin, which is 1-to-1 with the dollar, to send over, say, $100,000 over to the Indian rupee using the JPM coin, goes halfway, State Bank of India then picks up the other half of it, because it's pegged to the dollar as well, and just speed of transaction, isn't basically.
What I don't believe India will want to peg to the dollar. That's the Triffin's dilemma, and that's the problem we've got today. Everyone's pegged to the fucking dollar. They're going pegged to XRP, mate, make no mistake, because that is a trust-free. It's trust-free. People go like, right, China ain't trusting the dollar. Russia ain't trusting the dollar. Europe ain't trusting the dollar. Europe, in less than 20 fucking years, has took 24% of the world reserve off.
The last 4 weeks, I've been digging into China, because I've got a few fucking cryptos in China. And fuck me, man, I can't wait to get my money out. Like, stuff that I've uncovered,
Right, so they won't trust each other. Again, Kurt's a little bit better when it comes to this side of it, but the Triffin's dilemma is worth searching, because that's basically what caused the liquidity crisis, the lack of dollars and the lack of liquidity around the globe. Also, contagion in markets. If the dollar crashes, every other market pegged to the dollar crashes too. It has to. So it doesn't matter whether it's gold, silver, platinum, fucking tungsten, oil, cotton, coffee. It's gonna crash pegged to the dollar when the dollar crashes.
Those crashes come on purpose. They're designed to bring the economy down, to recycle everything. Like I said, these crashes happen. It looks bad to us, but it's the grand plan overall. They're designed to crash because money just moves from one pot to the other. It's like basically having a computer now, a laptop. When the cache gets filled up and the computer starts slowing down, hit the refresh button or restart it. Speeds. That's what market
That's what I think crypto regulators are waiting for. They're waiting for the crash. Because institutions aren't going to want to pull everything over until it does crash.
I was speaking to this Damoor the other day. I put on one of his posts. I put on there and he put Tron USDT, and I was like, all the jigsaw pieces are fitting together. There's got to be a massive crash in crypto. The more than more crashes when the retail investor comes in, the bubble bursts. It's going to literally bottom.
But what price do you think that bubble's going to start? I think I'm talking $750 per XRP. By the time that even starts.
But, you know what? I think what's going to cause it? It's going to be Binance USDT. When they have an official audit and the American government comes in and says, right, okay, Tether, right, you've got 20 billion.
I think the Fed will just do a deal with Tether because that's their. Right, you need to realise, when the Fed switches to a CBDC, there's no more quantitative fucking easing and tightening and all that bullshit, mate. None of that now, causing crashes. It's where the people are waking up, just like, well, tech, mate, stop your bullshit. Just like everyone's just stop you drilling your oil, killing the fucking planet. Stop your bullshit with money, you're killing the monetary system. We're going to go over to that.
You know, Binance, they basically got rejected in Hong Kong, didn't they? China and everywhere. They got kicked out everywhere. They're settled in Malta now.
Yeah, that is. I'm surprised they didn't go to Japan. But I honestly wouldn't surprise me if the Federal Reserve
America's doing
did a deal with US Tether because that's how they can print it.
The US government's doing a deal with Malta now for extradition of companies that are based in Malta. So Binance is based in Malta, so is Tron. They've got offices there, And as we speak right now, the US government is speaking to Malta about doing extradition.
Do you know what I think that is, honestly? That's FUD, that.
Really?
I really do believe that. Do you know Tron are on Hyperledger members? Ready to run through Hyperledger Quill, like it's fully governed for interoperability. I truly believe anyone following interoperability and the ILP.
I've got a fuckload of Tron.
It's like they was doing it with Amazon.
But what about
they were beating down the bookshop?
Yeah, but what about the tech? They're saying like the white paper was plagiarised, the tech isn't all there. The people are saying they're pumping out the fund, they're doing marketing, then they're trying to play catch up with the tech. So at the moment on the GitHub, the developers on BitTorrent, the BitTorrent developers, they went. BitTorrent as it is right now, Tron network cannot sustain even a fraction of BitTorrent's use at the moment. He goes, the code and the tech is shit. Even Java's outdated. They says all they're doing is just marketing it and they're trying to play catch up with the tech. They're just basically rinsing money. But you know, CZ, the guy that owns Binance, him and Justin Sun are mates. Because I noticed last year, every time Tron went up, Binance coin went up, and it was price bots on Binance controlling it. I had a suspicion last January. I was like, fucking hell, market's going up, but Tron's being manipulated, and it's working exactly the same as BNB coin. Now there's stuff coming out that obviously CZ and Justin Sun are mates. Now you know Zhao Zimbank that owns Neo. Why hasn't Neo developed the last 3 or 4 years? He's working for Binance on their decentralized exchange. So they've taken money off people from Neo, he's put that on the back shelf, and he's working for Binance to help develop their decentralized exchange, not bothered about developing Neo. So CZ, he's got Zhao Zimbank from Neo, he's got Justin Sun. They're all basically working together to get Binance number one now. They realise, hang on, we didn't expect Binance to go this quick to become the number one exchange in the world. Let's just milk it for everything that it's got, and they're literally just all working together. And
I think they're just in bed with everyone, mate. We could paint exactly the same kind of picture, everything you've just said. We could just swap swap the exchange for another exchange, and swap Tron for Ripple and XRP, and it'd all work. XRP manipulation, this manipulation, that is looking dodgy volume, pouring in billions, a billion XRP being moved from one wallet to another, looking like insider bullshit. While it's not regulated, mate, I think that's just them stirring the pot, like getting ready, and it's got people questioning. Oh, so is TRX fucking going to do it? He's buying what? Yeah, shit, I'm questioning myself. 99% of coins are going fuck off, mate, right to the floor. The best chance anyone's got is just to stick with one that's Hyperledger, hyper fucking ledger.
So
do you know when you come to Interledger?
It's Tron on there, Interledger.
It's ready to go with Hyperledger and Interledger, yeah. So it'll use Hyperledger for the private, anything private internally. It'll use Tron network for public, and then Hyperledger Quilt for cross network.
Last year, I bought a little bit around about when it's 15 cents. Then this is when I was first getting into crypto, and I thought they started crashing. As soon as I bought it, I was never been in profit. I thought, fuck this. I thought, fuck this. Yeah, I thought I'm doing TA myself. I'm learning it. So then I spent 8 hours a night every night for 7 months straight, learning everything. And then I worked out the chart patterns and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what, this fucker's gonna drop more yet. So I built up my bags of cash here, and I knew it was gonna come down to about 4 or 5 cents. Yeah, so I waited for it to 4 or 5 cents.
Nice.
To bring the overall cost down. So now it owes me about 6 cents.
Dollar cost average. Dollar cost
so
average.
I've gone from buying Tron at 18, 16, 17 cents, thinking fuck, yeah. Doing TA, yeah, get my money brother. I put my buy orders in 7 months in advance.
Yeah, so with your crypto workshops, do you just do group workshops? Do you do one-to-one workshops? Is it just TA fundamentals? Do you teach them actually about a little bit about blockchain as well as how to trade the currencies within blockchain? Basically just explaining how people can get onto it.
I think doing these workshops, it was not something that I originally planned to do. It's just kind of fell into my lap. For example, last year when I was doing the research on cryptocurrency myself, I do a lot of my research and calls and trades on my social media, my Instagram. And the most dramatic one that sticks to mind, I think it was around about end of January 2018 when Bitcoin, it just come back from $19,000 and it was hovering around $14,000 or $15,000. And I was heavily into technical analysis then. And I did a social media post on my Instagram that I believed that Bitcoin was going to correct and there's going to be a massive market crash coming between May and November 2018, and it could possibly last for 2 years, I said, and I predicted Bitcoin to go down to the $3,000 level. And I put this on a crypto WhatsApp group that I had with my friends at the time, and I put it on my Instagram and on my Twitter, and at the time every major analyst in the world, not just like the top crypto analysts and traders in the world, literally laughed at that claim. Nobody ever predicted that Bitcoin ever again in 2020. They thought, right, we've had a correction, it's come to 14,000, we're going to spike up to 20, 25, 30, 40,000. And my own fundamental analysis, technical analysis, told me, hang on, this just cannot be sustained. I literally predict a $3,000 Bitcoin between May and November. There's going to be a massive crash. And when that started to play out around about May, June, and to a T, people started messaging me on my social media saying, wow, how did you predict it? How did you know it was going to happen? Do you teach workshops? And I had no plans on doing that at the time. I thought, okay, I'm happy to basically speak to people. And I started speaking to people. And as people became aware of cryptocurrency, I realised that it's kind of hard to get into. It took me several hours of research every single day over 9 months just to avoid all the scams, the dodgy exchanges.
Once you know you want to go in, it's hard. I'm just finding out how to buy it.
It's hard, and I thought, okay, well, there's people out there that can literally change their lives just getting into crypto, even if they don't trade. They've got no interest in trading. If they came in, did a bit of research, bought some key projects like XRP or wherever, and they just hodled, they could change their lives in the future. And I just wanted to devise a way how people can get into the market and avoid the scams, avoid the dodgy exchanges, how to get their money from fiat into crypto. And I thought, well, I'll develop a one-day workshop where I actually sit with people myself, small groups of 5 or 6 people. They could be complete beginners, never know how to use a laptop, how to get into the market, and it's basically help them secure financial security. And that's what I started to do. So I did my first workshop.
Nice.
People came in, and just getting them introduced into the marketplace. A lot of them continue to be traders, a lot of them are hodlers. So that's where it initially started. And from there, we started doing more calls, more predictions. I had quite a successful year last year in terms of trading myself. I won't go into the figures, but I had like a 5-figure trade come through mid-flight. Just some of the technical analysis I've done. I think I set the trade up about 3-4 months before it actually came through, and that got me some more interest as well. So going forward, my plans are just to continue to do the one-day workshops where I get complete beginners, show them how to get into cryptocurrency, how to avoid the scams there, dodgy exchanges, how to secure the funds. The information out there is still available, but it just takes research to do. So I'm basically saving you time. There's people out there who are mothers, working individuals, they haven't got time to spend like 15, 20, 30 hours a week to do the research. So basically my workshop is just a crash course. Come here for one day, and by the time you finish, you know how to get into crypto, how to invest, and basically avoid all the pitfalls. Then it's your choice if you want to build on top of that and become a trader. Then I will start doing intermediate advanced workshops where I teach technical analysis, fundamental analysis, so you can go like part-time working into trading as well. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. It's just waking people up and saying, right, you know what, there's an opportunity out there and it's endless, come get involved. If you don't know what to do, I will show you. I'm not the type of person that could hire out a venue, have 200 people there and just sit there and just charge people money and just spit out garbage. I want all of my students or people I teach my workshops to fully absorb what I teach them. By the time they finish at the end of the day, they're 100% confident how they can get into the marketplace, how they can trade.
I'm a bit like that. Like I do the on-stage event just to sprout information and basically just charge people to pay for the room and have a party. Planning a little something like that towards the end of the year, but you're fully right when it comes to actually teaching and learning something. It's got to be enclosed, it's got to be personal. Like say, even if it's a small group, 5 or 6, you do one-to-one as well?
Yeah, I will be doing one-to-one.
So if people want to get on it, have you got a landing page for it? They just DM you on your Insta?
At the moment, I've got a website that's going to be in development. I'm looking to get that after April, so it's going to be
so stay tuned on that.
It's everything about myself, my background, motivational information, health and fitness related, and financial and trading. So at the moment, you can contact me on my social media, which is my Facebook page. All of my reviews are on there from my previous workshop students. They leave genuine, honest 5-star reviews, or how they feel, how the workshop went.
Superb.
There's a reason why I keep it to like 4 to 6 people, so I can keep it personal, one-to-one, make sure everyone's learning and engaging, and they're 100% confident at the end of the day that when they finish, they know exactly how to get into crypto, how to protect the money and how to trade. So it's not a numbers game for me, it's a game for how many people I can enlighten and get into the marketplace and help change their lives as well.
Superb, superb. Well, get on him, guys. Get on his social media, DM him, ask him anything you want regarding the workshops. When's the website up? Stay tuned and stay posted on that. We're gonna go to the gym soon, aren't we?
Yeah. Are you gonna put me through my paces, aren't you, today, Scott?
Well, I'll bring a bit of my PT back out. Failed PT.
Really?
Failed PT. So was there anything you want to ask me with a camera pointing on me for me to like edit up and send you back, or should we do another meeting when your website's up and
we could do,
we can spin the camera the other way and you do it to me?
Yeah, I could come to Manchester and stuff like that. Like, we could do like a regular thing. I've got once a few months to say.
Well, I mean, I'm extremely interested in just working closely with you moving forward. If we're just plugging each other's brands, if you little segment of my website on your website, a little bit of yours on mine, bit of content together.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Just brand and awareness building moving forward, really, basically.
The thing is, though, it's good to see because we're so early in crypto at the moment.
Yeah.
How we move and evolve from here. We could always refer chronologically.
What I keep trying to say to Chris and Kurt, well, not Kurt, but Chris and Damoor and a couple of the others, they're all like, oh, when it moons, and Kurt's like, oh, I'll stand on the stage when it's mooned, and Chris is like, I'll do this and that when it's moons. Like, well, you've got no brand.
You've got to build a rapport with the brand. For example, now, imagine 5 years from now, yeah, you've got your gold-plated Gucci belt on and a Lamborghini outside, and I've got my chopper, and we're sat. Like, Scott, remember when we had that first meeting at Costa? Go back, look how far we've come. We've got tangible, visible evidence of where we've come from,
exactly.
to where we've gone, and that builds a rapport with your brand. Whereas if you just popped up out of nowhere, nobody knows who you are.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so were you? It's like, oh, that was that guy who was behind the scenes for that other dude, and like, well, can we get that other dude then? Mate, a lot of people in business have it when you've been the face of that business and you've been the face of that brand growing, and then you go to other clients and all of a sudden Dave shows up instead of Steve, and the client's like, well, hang on a minute, where the fuck's Steve? It's like, well, you've got Dave. It's like, well, I didn't want fucking Dave. Steve's been on the videos for 5 years. Who the fuck's Dave? Dave answered me email, but I want the face. And that's where people need to realise when they're building a brand moving forward, you've got to be careful about who's not only the voice of it, who's the face of it, that it's not too heavy on one person, that everyone involved in the brand is getting a say moving forward and is getting awareness. Because it doesn't, not just credibility, but little bit of just a little bit of awareness, a little bit of gratitude to the community, coming out into the community and just say, yo, thanks, just to let you know I'm working within this little team as well, and I just really wanted to say thanks for everything you do as our community. Really appreciate you. I've been trying to do it more in my video, just let the community know that you appreciate and that I'm grateful for the journey. But like I try to say, people need to get happy before they get rich, because if they think that bank balance is just going to make them happy, mate, they've got a rude awakening coming. They really have.
So is there anything that you want to summarise about my opinions or anything like that?
Not really. I think we have, haven't we, generally? I find it hard to say, and I don't really want to. I try not to be a judgmental person, but I believe if you don't know about cryptocurrency and all that, and you haven't even looked into it, fair enough. You don't know it, you don't understand it, you're not going to get it. But the people who laugh it off and refuse to look into it, they're fucking idiots, mate. And I swear to God, like, when people talk about regret, and I like to talk about not having regret moving forward. It's why I jumped at the chance to be a PT even though I failed. If I knew what I knew now about online marketing and all that, I'd have made it as a PT. I'm online pulling a Nissan Navara in 2010 on my old PT page. I'm going to pull it up when I edit this video and everyone can watch me pulling a Nissan Navara from back in the day. But I can't even log into that page anymore. I've lost the password. If I knew what I knew now back then, I wouldn't have needed to train anyone. I wouldn't have needed to sell PT. Could have trained myself online, and I would have made it online.
It's about everything happens for a reason. Like I said, you're here now because of all your past experiences. But for me, my take-home message right now to everybody out there that's watching this: if you know about crypto, know nothing about it, you've got to take a chance. If you don't take a chance, you will look back in 5 years from now and think, shit, why did I get into the market? For example, the prices are so low at the moment on the Scott compared to like a year or two ago. Even if you invested a couple $100, you might think, okay, I have got a couple $100 to spare, but you've got to be true and honest with yourself. When you go out on a night out, or you go and splurge on materialistic things like iPhones or trainers and so forth, they're going to give you instant gratification, but they're adding nothing to your long-term security. Now, always think of worst case scenario and best case scenario. Now, in 2019, if you're at home right now and you've got social media, Instagram, and you've heard of Bitcoin, you've heard of cryptocurrency, but you don't know what to do, research. If you don't know how to research, either get in touch with me or somebody else that deals with crypto who you resonate with, and make a commitment, because the worst thing you want to do, you don't want to be that person in 5 years from now, and there's a couple $100, I would have changed my life now. For the money it takes to invest in cryptocurrency right now and just sit and hold, it truly is life changing. Don't be that person that thinks, I could have done it, but I didn't, and now I regret it.
Exactly, wise words. Do not live with regret, guys. Put all your spare money in. I've just had to spend £80 to get an S10 for next week. I went on fucking Wednesday, mate. It was £29 up front cost. I just paid another bill out, didn't have a 29 quid in my bank. I'm fucking waiting 2 days for payday. Goes on 79 quid up front cost. I'm like, have it. It's coming on the 15th. I had to do that because if I didn't, my daily video stopped.
You've got to invest in
I
yourself.
fucking had to, man. Like, the other day it was 20 quid it cost me for a 1.5. It's pinging up like it's uploading, it was like 20% upload. And then it goes, you've just been charged £6. And then it's like 35%. And it's like, you've just been charged £6 for 250 megabytes. I'm like, fucking 100 XRP a pop, like going out bugging.
It's crazy.
Mate, I had to get an S10. I've had to get unlimited data. So from the week after next, I will be on as much content as I possibly can. So that £80 in hindsight is an extremely good investment.
Of course.
Even though I'd have rather have put it in XRP, I needed a new phone, a better phone, and that's 30 gig. Now I use 170 odd gig the other month, mate. That's
that is an investment to your overall plan that's going to evolve your cryptocurrency information and knowledge. But I'm talking about the people who are just living in fear. They're scared to invest a small amount of change or a small amount of money in case something fails, but they don't think twice about pissing you up the wall on the weekend.
Oh, it's crazy.
So if you want success, you've got to get out of that mindset because, like I said, I see so many people go out on the weekend and they spend £200-300 a night out for that short-term gratification, but then you ask them to invest that same amount in something that could change their lives and they won't do it. It's because you've been brainwashed. You've got to get out of that mindset.
Not even.
Do you feel the vibe?